All right. Welcome. Welcome back to the live stream. Today, we are picking up from where we left off last time, and we are in this book, Deliverance and Spiritual Warfare. This is the book that I read from last time. Last episode, last podcast, we went over the spirit of rejection. And the spirit of rejection is going to lead us into today's podcast, where we are going to talk about the spirit of rebellion and how these two go hand in hand. And also, why this is important is because I feel like this spirit of rebellion is not only pinnacle to my story, but many other stories that I have heard, testimonies that I have heard about, Christianity and just other people's life stories, that rebellion is this huge area that a lot of people go through, especially young teenagers go through this rebellious phase, as a lot of people go through this rebellious phase. So let's check this out today and talk a little bit about rebellion. And normally, rebellion follows rejection. So a lot of times in relationships, we are rejected. We are feeling all these feelings of rejection. So next thing we know, we often rebel. How that could look at is turning this love that you had for somebody, and that turns into hate. And that is also a form of rebellion. So rebellion doesn't necessarily have to mean like you're going to go riot. But rebellion is a form of witchcraft as well. We see that in the Bible. And, how I look at this is anything that you turn from or you turn into, is rebellion. So for instance, if you once had love for your parents, but then you turned that love into hate, and now you hate your parents and you do everything that you can to rebel against them. The same goes for a single parent home, where now you are doing everything to spite your mother or your father, or you do everything to spite your brothers and sisters. So rebellion is the other personality that is one of the two personalities of double-mindedness. Samuel rebuked King Saul for his rebellion by equating it with witchcraft. And Saul is a biblical example of double mindedness. Rebellion is often the result of a rejection. Rebellion, especially in children, is often a cry for attention. The core of rebellion personalities is rebellion, disobedience, and anti submissiveness. The rebellion personality is the outward manifestation of double mindedness, the polar opposite of the rejection personality, which is inward. So when we are rejected, we take it inward, and when we rebel, it's usually an outward. It's an outward type of spiritual act. So rebellion, you act out, you lash out, you show out. So there's a couple spirits that are attached to the spirit of rebellion. So once this spirit of rebellion takes root in a person, it leads to a lot of other demonic spirits that are associated with rebellion. The number one is stubbornness. So stubbornness is, if you know people that are super stubborn, a lot of times these people most definitely have a demonic stronghold in their life somewhere. So stubbornness includes anti-submissiveness, unteachableness, and idolatry. Stubbornness is being stick-necked and refusing to submit to a yoke. Characteristics of stubbornness include inability to receive ministry, unable to hear correction. These people are always right, and the like. Stubbornness is also connected to drunkenness and gluttony. These people, we all know people like this that are set in their ways, that are unteachable, they're unwilling to learn new things, etc. Now, I will like to say that there's a difference between being a perfectionist and also having a level of excellence, which this is not what that is talking about. It's talking about being unteachable. So we can still be great leaders and set a bar of excellence, but that does not mean that we are not unteachable. So I think that that is what sets this apart here, is that these demonic spirits that are associated with rebellion are rooted in stubbornness, anti-submissive behavior, unrelenting people that will never change. Okay, so it says stubbornness keeps you from being steadfast. Psalm 78:8. Israel was stubborn. Israel was also double-minded. Stubborn is the Hebrew word karar, meaning backsliding, rebellious, revolter, revolting, slide back. Double-mindedness is the root cause of backsliding. Israel was stiff-necked and resistant to the Holy Spirit. Stubbornness can block the flow of the Holy Spirit. Those who are stubborn will not submit to God or His Spirit. So this is really interesting. And that's why I thought that I would shoot the beginning of the new podcast here on different spirits, on these strongholds, so you can start to see where some of these are operating, not only in your life, but in the lives of others around you. So you can pray for these people, or you can just point some of these things out if someone is receptive. So it's literally saying right here that stubbornness and all of these things here associated with rebellion literally block the flow of God's Holy Spirit. So being unteachable, being really stubborn, these things will block God's Spirit, and God's Holy Spirit wants to flow through you. But if you are not submitted, if you are stubborn, if you are stick-necked, it keeps you not only like locked out from the Holy Spirit, but it keeps you locked in this mode of being, which has you all hedged in, and that is right where the devil wants you. Let's look at Psalm 78. That says this highlighted here.